There is a compelling reason why Caitlin Clark is unique. She is the type of person who would rather cherish her heritage and her supporters than any amount of foreign money. Who cares about loyalty when there's more money on the table? Is a question that many athletes ponder in this day and age. In a move that rocked the sports world, she responded to the world in a very different way. A substantial European deal was recently and emphatically rejected by Caitlin Clark. I feel like there could be a team overseas who would love to snatch Caitlin Clark away from us and give her. However, this is where the narrative truly picks up steam. Caitlin received an invitation to return to Iowa just as the contract discussions were nearing their last crucial phases. And for a moment, let's be honest, everyone was certainly completely taken aback by this decision, but one person in particular seems to be unable to stop discussing paycheck losses and what they believe players should be making. This was more than a career decision. It was a declaration. The money is there, and if these owners are smart with it, I could definitely see more WNBA players going overseas and possibly. You may be wondering, what's the big deal here? While you sit there, there is only one contract. You must, however, comprehend the unspoken guidelines of professional athletics. You should definitely take an offer to play in Europe if it comes with a salary that would be far higher than anything the WNBA could offer you. It is seen as the expected, sensible, and financially prudent course of action for any elite athlete. Furthermore, we're not merely discussing a higher salary. These European contracts come with more than just great figures for elite athletes like Clark. They have an extremely luxurious existence. We're talking about first-rate accommodations in amazing cities, ongoing VIP treatment, and a brand new, fervent fan base that is prepared to shout your name from the rooftops. Getting a contract like this is like winning the career lottery for the great majority of players. A one-way ticket to fame and wealth that most players just cannot afford to pass up. But in the past, the only on-record revenue that I could find of the WNBA is $60 million. Now, there has been rumors, there has been reports, there has been many things that say that the WNBA was projected to make 180 to 200. Nevertheless, Caitlin Clark responded with a straightforward, assured, "Nope, I'm good," after considering all of that. The wealth, the fame, and the comfort. Even though the best players in Europe are frequently earning much more than six figures, she made the conscious decision to prioritize loyalty over luxury by choosing Iowa over Europe. Rookies in the WNBA usually make between $62,000 and $75,000. Caitlin Clark is not an exception to this rule either. Even though she won Rookie of the Year, her WNBA compensation pales in contrast to what she could have earned overseas. However, she spotted something considerably more important, something priceless right here at home, rather than cashing in like almost everyone else would. And when she returned to Iowa for an unmatched homecoming celebration at Kick Stadium, that vision and sense of belonging came to vivid reality. To offer her their unfailing support, thousands upon thousands of supporters, her old teammates, and her cherished coaches were crammed into the stands. You must realize that they weren't merely there to support a famous person. They were come to make it clear to her that she held great personal significance for them. Caitlin didn't care about a paycheck at this time. It was about being present for the location that shaped her into the person she is now. She rejected Europe for the people who supported her at every stage. And let's face it, in today's professional sports, that level of loyalty is essentially unheard of. If you guys want like a full breakdown, definitely go check out that video. But when we look at the numbers, I'll just do like a really quick scenario for you. When we look at the numbers and when we look at what the WNBA has earned over the past years and the entirety of the WNBA, now, don't even consider this to be a small sacrifice on her part. Basketball in Europe is more than just a pay increase. It's a pass to everything a famous athlete might want. For many WNBA players, it's a fantastic way to get away from the extremely demanding schedules and tight budgets they have back home in the United States, in addition to earning double or even treble what the WNBA could ever hope to offer them. They get to live it up in opulent, world-class locations like Istanbul, Moscow, or Barcelona. Especially when European teams go above and above to keep their star players happy with all the perks you can imagine, leaving that sort of lifestyle and that kind of money is no simple task. Why, therefore, did she leave everything on the table? Because there is much more to Clark's connection to Iowa than just basketball. They have a strong familial foundation. Her return home wasn't a planned publicity gimmick. Instead, it was a sincere reunion full of affection and memories. Her coach, Lisa Bluer, who has served as more of a mentor to her than anything else, was so incredibly proud that she couldn't even try to disguise it. Her former colleagues, amazing athletes like Gabby Marshall and Kate Martin, were right there with her, ready with easy chuckles and inside jokes that only come from years of playing side by side on the floor. Caitlin made a strong statement that goes well beyond ordinary devotion when she turned down a European riches in order to keep these relationships. This homecoming was Caitlin Clark's way of looking them in the eye and saying, "You stood by me, so now I'm sticking around for you." Think about the weight of that. Hawkeye Nation had always supported her. Her decision to decline a multi-million-dollar opportunity in Europe in order to stay near her Iowa village wasn't made lightly. The promise was fulfilled. Caitlin is a great teammate, and if she wasn't a great teammate, it might be hard. If she walked around like she was the star, the stands at Kinnick Stadium were packed with thousands of fans, all decked out in black and gold, clutching signs with her name and number with pride. Let's be honest, she is a local legend, and it felt like they were welcoming her home. However, this was more than just a crowd supporting an athlete. It was a sea of well-known faces, those who had been fervently supporting her since her initial appearance at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Caitlin's ties to her city and state go far beyond any contract, so choosing Iowa over Europe was about honoring those roots. Furthermore, this amazing friendship and loyalty didn't just happen. Iowa supporters continued to be her pillar of support even after she formally joined the Indiana Fever in the WNBA. They drove long distances to watch her play in a different uniform through enormous watch parties and posted her highlights on social media. Hawkeye supporters made sure Caitlin felt the undying support of her community even on the biggest national stage. Finding a fan base that committed is really rare, and you can be certain that Caitlin was well aware of how unique that is. It's also important to keep in mind that she was welcomed back by more people than just her supporters. Her coach and old teammates were also present. Furthermore, this was more than just a light-hearted catch-up. It served as a potent reminder of what they had created on that basketball court. Caitlin's coach, Lisa Bluer, who has guided her throughout her career, witnessed her develop into a formidable WNBA juggernaut from a stared-at freshman with raw talent. Therefore, it was more than simply an emotional event for the fans to see her back at Kinnick. Bluer saw Caitlin's achievement on a whole new level, which made it a poignant full-circle experience for her. In today's highly marketed sports world, when fame and fortune can so easily sweep a player away from their origins, the memories, friendships, and all that this event symbolized are practically unheard of. However, Iowa is more than simply a place on a map to Caitlin. It is really very home. Therefore, Caitlin's choice was a loud and clear reminder that some things, intangible things like loyalty and roots, are worth much more than any financial balance, even when other players might be packing their bags for a better income overseas. It's incredible that not even winning Rookie of the Year has altered that core aspect of her identity. Additionally, you should buckle up since you missed a fantastic adventure during Caitlin Clark's Hawkeye days if you are new to the world of basketball and only joined the bandwagon because of the phenomenon that is Caitlin Clark. Throughout Caitlin's time with Iowa, there were numerous memorable occasions that raised the program to a level that nobody could have predicted. We are discussing accomplishments such as her astounding triple-doubles, which she accomplished 3 times in the 2022 to 2023 season alone. Then, on February 26, 2023, there came that fabled buzzer-beating triumph over Indiana, a shot that virtually stopped time itself in addition to winning the game. She became the basketball superstar we know and love today, thanks to her incredible ability to seize the game's last, desperate seconds, which created an iconic event that made headlines everywhere. And let's be completely truthful, Her incredible, nearly video game-like skills weren't the only reason Iowa made it to consecutive Final Fours in 2024 and 2025. No, it was more than that. Her unwavering self-assurance and unrelenting perseverance drove the Hawkeyes to previously unthinkable heights, defying expectations in the process. Not only did fans watch Caitlin play for Iowa, though, they had the impression that they were actively part of a cultural movement that beyond basketball. Caitlin actually made a significant and long-lasting impact on the program. The Carver Hawkeye Arena completely changed into an impenetrable fortress with record-breaking crowds crammed into the stands in an electrifying excitement that was undoubtedly palpable from miles away. Each and every home game turned into a memorable event, not just another game on the schedule in a manner that very few sportsmen have ever succeeded in. It wasn't only obvious that Caitlin was on that court, bringing supporters together and rallying the entire state behind Hillary was exciting. Applause. Beyond all the numbers and accolades, Clark's genuine impact is felt most profoundly by her followers, who regard her as the living embodiment of Iowa's spirit by putting devotion ahead of any possible financial gain. She did more than simply lead by example. She ignited a real movement. These days, Iowa basketball is more than simply a sport. It's a thriving, fervent community that will last for many generations. Every young athlete in the state now believes that Iowa is a location where dreams may come true long after her last dribble and her enduring influence, rather than just a place where they start.